Okay, so I have something different. So, argument number one. Okay, so my argument number one is that it fits the definition of a sport. So, we got the definition from Google. An activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against others or others for physical entertainment. For entertainment, not physical entertainment. Okay, so physical exertion, like, have you seen these people? Half of them got, like, biceps, like, the size of my head, and then, like, abs. Like, even the girls are, like, ripped because we spent so much time, and it's such a hard sport, and you gotta do a lot of stuff. So, I mean, I get that there are people that aren't like that, but the majority of us are at least, like, above average strength by kind of, like, at least 20%, I guess. So, and skill. So skill is, like, I mean, skill would be, like, all the backflips and stuff we do. I mean, there's not, like, you can't pull around people off the street and be like, do a backflip and all learn to do it. It's not something very common. And, I mean, doing stunts, too, especially. So, and, like, being as flexible as some of these girls are, or boys, too. There's a lot of flexible boys, too. I mean, that's just kind of how, what all plays into it, is the fact that there are so many things that require skill that cheerleaders can do that normal people can't. And by normal people, I mean, like, people you just pull off the street. So competes against others or another. So, I mean, we do compete. That's kind of the point of it, especially competitive. Even high school teams compete. But we travel, like, across the country and the world to come to these places to do what we do best, to get our routine and then perform it to our best of our abilities and make it look good. And then for entertainment, I mean, it's not for, like, I mean, obviously it's not like football where people go drive halfway across the country to go see I don't even know a football team. I don't know, to see whoever's game. I mean, people do that, but, like, for cheerleading, you don't see people like, oh my gosh, Dad, will you take me to this cheerleading competition? Unless you're, like, competing. So, you normally don't see that. I guess the entertainment would be, like, for the athletes. Because I really love it, and it's fun for me, and a lot of people would agree with that. So my next part is both sports, cheerleading and gymnastics, involve extensive practice where personal conditioning is critical. And I got that one from ftbensportsmedicine.com. So this is written by a doctor. That's what he did. So back to this page. So, I mean, it does involve extensive practice. I mean, some of us spend at least, it's like 5 hours a week. But that's, like, little kids. I mean, I spend up to 30. I spend, like, 10 to 30 hours a week. It just depends on, like, other stuff I have going on. But that's just it, is that does involve a lot of practice. And you have to have a lot of practice to get it just right. Because the point of cheerleading isn't to do it until you get it right. You do it until you can't get it wrong. Where personal conditioning is critical. I mean, again, back to how these people look, their physique and everything, it's just like, you have to be top-notch fitness to be able to do this kind of stuff. Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to hurl your body over it and get it all the way up and stuff like that. So a lot of people say that cheerleading is turning your back on a game being played in order to remind those who are watching that they are supposed to be watching loudly. This is from KritzMatzizak.com. I think he's a vlogger. And I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Call me a terrible person. But it is true. Because, well, it's for high school cheerleading, though. Like the sideline cheerleading, that's kind of what you're doing. I mean, I agree with that, but he doesn't think about the high school cheerleaders whenever they go to practice and then they go and compete, or the competitive cheerleading that only competes. I mean, you can't base it all off of one sport. So, I mean, that's pretty much that for that part. I mean, just the fact that it fits the definition, and that people say it doesn't fit the definition, they're probably not thinking about the actual hard part for it. They're thinking about the people being like, go, team, go. And I mean, that used to be me, and it's just, that's just not all of it, though. People have to realize that there's more to it than just people on the sideline.